Hey guys, welcome to the Acting Clear Chef, and today I want to show you how to make an amazing sweet potato harvest chicken root vegetable soup. This is a fantastic way to get a lot of micronutrients into your diet, a lot of non-starchy vegetables, as well as some root vegetables, which are loaded with vitamin C and high quality nutrient dense vitamins and minerals that are excellent for building wellness within. Okay, so for this recipe, I'm going to be using one whole chicken for my base, about 2 liters of water, some organic high quality vegetable broth, 1 medium squash, 1 celeriac root, half of a sweet potato or a whole sweet potato, some celery, salt and pepper, or 2 carrots. And finally, some bay leaf and peppercorns for seasoning and flavoring. So to start off this recipe, what you're gonna wanna have is 1 3.5 to 4 pound chicken and add it into a large crock pot or a large stainless steel pot for cooking. After you added your chicken into a pot, you're going to cut your vegetables into bite-sized pieces and then add it into the crock pot. I chopped about 2 carrots already and put them in my stock pot, and now I'm going to take 2 celery stalks with the tips and the bottoms removed, and I'm going to cut them into 1-inch pieces and add it into the pot as well. You're also going to want to peel 1 medium butternut squash. Once it's peeled, cut it in half lengthwise, and then lengthwise again, and cube it into about 1-inch cubes. You may find when you cut it in half, you'll find there's some seeds inside. You have 2 options. You can scoop these out with a spoon and put them in a bag and actually roast the pumpkin seeds in the oven. Well, squash seeds, but they come from the pumpkin family, in the oven, and you can eat them, or you can simply throw them into a compost or into the garbage. Once you cored out your squash, it's time to cut it into bite-sized cubes or about 1-inch pieces. This is amazing stuff. This is really going to help up your skin, add a lot of color, a lot of vitality, a lot of vitamins and minerals, and all these nutritious foods are going to go straight from your gut into your skin. So give it about 4 to 8 weeks eating healthy, guys, and you'll seriously start to see a difference. So now we're simply going to do the same thing we did with the butternut squash soup with our celeriac root. It's a very tough vegetable, so just be careful when peeling this. Maybe a little hard to use a peeler. You may need to use a knife. So also, if you're peeling this and you see a little bit of green, just make sure you do an extra scrape so you don't incorporate that kind of gross greenness. So since the celeriac root is a bit bulbous, we're going to cut it into more smaller pieces. I just simply cut this lengthwise into 4 pieces. Usually I'd just cut it in half, but since it's very bulbous, I'm going to just cut it into 4ths instead of halves. And then I'm going to simply cut it lengthwise into strips and then horizontally into cubes. And then I'm going to add that into my soup as well. So far, I've added 2 carrots, 2 celery stalks, a small butternut squash soup, and 1 celeriac root. Now looking at the soup just visually, it looks like it could use a little more celery, so I'm going to add about 1 to 2 more stalks of celery just to kind of balance out the colors here. Just remember when you're cutting your vegetables, just give it a quick rinse before putting it in your crock pot. So now that I added my vegetables, I'm going to pour in some water. So I filled the pot with about half water. You can cover it completely with water. I'm just going to mix it with vegetable stock and water just to add some flavor. But if you don't have vegetable stock, you can most definitely just use water for this recipe. It just might be a little watery and may not have as many flavors as you'd like. I find vegetable stock adds flavor to anything, and whenever making a soup, I'd highly recommend you use a vegetable stock or bouillon cubes, or you can use water if you're in a hurry or just do not have the means of accessing broth or bouillon cubes. So half with water, using filtered of course, and then about 1.5 liters or the other half with vegetable stock. So just think 50-50, and that should be about the ratio. So I'm also going to add about half to 1 whole sweet potato into the recipe as well. Make sure you're choosing organic variety. I find these ones are a little more sweeter, and again, you have less exposure to chemicals like pesticides and herbicides, which are good for your metabolic function, but also your physiological and metabolic health. You can peel the skin, but I would highly recommend you keep it on to get all that fiber and extra nutrients from the full tuber. So now I'm gonna add some salt and pepper to the recipe. I'm also going to add a couple tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil just to add those healthy omega-3 fatty acids into the recipe. You may also add, this is completely optional, 1 to 2 bouillon cubes to the recipe to add a little more chicken flavor or vegetable flavor as well. Then I'm going to finish the recipe off with some organic bay leaves. I'm using the conventional kind, but I'd highly recommend you use organic so you're getting better quality nutrition and phytochemicals from the herbs and spices. So once you have all your ingredients in the pot, we're gonna put it on a conventional stovetop and increase the heat to high until the water starts to boil. And as the water begins to boil, you may start seeing some kind of white foam come to the top. That's simply some of the fat from the chicken. You can just simply take a large ladle and scoop some of that out and throw it in the trash. All right, and once you start getting a boil, reduce it to a low heat setting. Put on a lid. And set up a timer for 45 minutes to 1 hour. All right, so after about an hour, hour and a half, so if you guys are using a fresh chicken, I would constantly check the temperature. After 45 minutes, get a meat thermometer and pierce it through the chicken breast and the chicken thigh, ensuring that the meat is at least at 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And once your chicken is done cooked, you can take the chicken out of the pot into a separate container, let it cool, and then put the chicken and rip it into pieces and put it in a container where you can either store in the fridge for about 3 to 5 days. And then you can portion your soup and then add chicken and serve with a couple pieces of gluten-free bread with grass-fed butter, and you have yourself a delicious breakfast, dinner, or lunch. All right, guys, and that's the recipe. This is a great way to incorporate a lot of non-starchy vegetables in your diet, a lot of high-quality vitamin A and vitamin C squash, a lot of great root vegetables, and good quality chicken and stock that's going to help nourish your body and ensuring you're getting the essential vitamins and minerals that are going to be essential for helping you clear up your skin and feeling amazing. If you guys want to see more recipes like this, feel free to like, follow, and subscribe. Make sure to turn on that notification bell and follow my recipes. I will be posting 1 to 2 times per week or once every couple of weeks, trying to get more consistent videos for you guys. And until then, guys, I will see you on the other side.